Hello and welcome to the 411 in the 252. I'm your host, Ryan Smith, and in this series, we'll go behind the scenes and around Greenville to give you an inside access to your city here in Greenville, North Carolina. Let's find some good company. Nature's beauty cannot be overstated when you gaze upon the breathtaking landscape of Wildwood Park here in Greenville. Children's laughter, towering trees, miles of trails, stunning water, and activities can all be found here at beautiful Wildwood Park. Let's explore more of this gem in the Emerald City. Well, welcome to Wildwood Park. We are out in nature. I love it. It's a totally different atmosphere here on this episode of the 411 in the 252. Joined alongside Mr. Mark Tysinger. And Mark, I like to think of this as kind of like a hidden gem in the Emerald City, Wildwood Park. There's so much to do here. There's so much that a lot of people may not know that Wildwood even has to offer. And I was really looking forward to this conversation with you and trying to figure out what else is there that people may or may not know about. So let's start off with just kind of give us a basic overview of what is at Wildwood Park for, the residents of Greenville to get into.
Yeah, so Wildwood Park is about 350 acres. It does span the east and west side of 264 with a connection under the highway. On the east side, we have the Welcome Center and a playground. We have a little over 6 miles of dedicated mountain bike trails. And then we have a little over 4 miles throughout the park, both east and west side, of hiking, biking, basically multi-use trails. Then on the north side, we do have the pump track and skills course for bikes. People ride skateboards and roller skates, rollerblades on the pump track, which is completely fine. On the east side, near the large rentable pavilion, we do have a accessible kayak launch and a boat dock, and then the swim beach located next to that.
I feel like the vision of this place is really a place where you can come and do almost anything and learn some things about nature, just get out and walk around, but you can also do some activities and stuff as well. I think one of the few things that some people don't necessarily know happens here is the Zumba that happens underneath the big pavilion, which I think is it's fun to sit there and watch a huge group of people out there with a gorgeous view with the water behind them. And it's just kind of unique that you've got something here in Greenville that offers that. If you're interested in getting out to these things, how do you find a lot of them? Because obviously you talked about a lot of things here. So how do people find out about some of those things?
They can go on the greenvillenc.gov webpage and find the Wildwood Park link. They can call Wildwood Park, 252-329-4789. They can look us up on social media, Wildwood Park, Greenville NC. There's a multitude of places they can go to find more information. We are certainly happy to answer any questions anybody has, so please contact us. And we'll be happy to provide any kind of information they might need.
So Mark, as we've talked about a lot today, there's a lot of things to do here at Wildwood, and there's a lot of activities that take place here as well. And it's not just activities for the day. You've got some recreation things here and camping sites and things like that. Just kind of give us a little bit of insight of how those work. And then again, obviously a huge partnership with Riverside Recreation and kind of getting those activities available to the public.
Yeah, so we do have a camping platform that's available for rent. It is located on the north side of the pond or the lake, and it's next to the skills park and pump track for the bikes. That's rentable. People can rent it up to 3 nights, 3 nights a week. There is a fire pit there with a bench that's located right next to it. It's completely screened in to help with bugs in the summer. It's a really nice place to stay. Everybody that's camped here, we've always had good input from them. And then with Riverside Recreation, we did partner with them to offer public rentals for pedal boats, kayaks, stand-up paddle boards, and they operate on their own schedule through the summer, basically throughout the year, offering different options for people to rent.
Well, Mark, thank you so much for kind of giving us the insight, to Wildwood and everything that you can do, what we might be able to do here in the future. Really looking forward to all those things that we can do. So we appreciate your time. When we come back, we'll have a little bit more in depth of Wildwood here in the 411 in the 252. Welcome outside of a beautiful another 411 in the 252. Ryan Smith joined alongside Mr. Ben Thompson. And Ben, it's kind of nice to be outside when the sun's shining. And when we talk about coming out to Wildwood, there's a lot of things to do here. There's a lot of programs and activities that happen around here that a lot of the public may not necessarily know. But I kind of wanted to have a little bit of conversation with you about some of those programs that happen. Sometimes it's seasonally, sometimes it's year round. I just kind of wanted to get a little bit of a background on some of the programs that we have here at Wildwood.
Sure. So all of our programs are released in conjunction with the other programs across the department. So if you're familiar with our program brochure, they're released twice a year. So all of our athletics and arts and everything, we're in the nature section. We have different programs that we do in the summer, a lot of water-based activities like kayaking. One of my popular programs is a kayak trip from Town Common here to Wildwood. It's a 3-mile trip. It's really cool. It's relaxing and fun. We see some animals and everybody likes that one. In the winter, we kind of shift to more hiking programs, stay off the water that time of year, but again, a lot of animals and just being outside and seeing what we see.
So you talk about a lot of those programs. Is it age specific? Does it kind of go all over the place? I mean, to be honest, the kayaking one sounds kind of fun to me. And how advanced do you have to be in some of those skill sets?
Sure. So we offer things for all ages, but some programs do have restrictions. Kayaking programs, for example, if you want to go on your own kayak, you have to be at least 12 years old. But we do have tandem kayaks, so a parent can bring a younger kid. For those, generally our hikes are all ages. You do have to be with an adult, but we can take anybody. As far as skill set goes, really anybody can come along. It's good for beginners because of flat land to hike on. It's good for beginner kayakers because the river's so easy to paddle. It's a really slow moving river. But advanced hikers and kayakers, or whatever program we're having, are welcome to come along too. And we try to offer a lot of educational insight that might be good for anybody.
When you talk about that education side of it, how much fun is it trying to teach people? Sometimes it may be their first time coming out on a trail or any kind of those things. How much fun is it to try to teach those people some things that you guys are obviously so passionate about and educational wise as well?
Well, it is a challenge sometimes. We have a lot of knowledge here, and one of the things that we have to do is kind of break that knowledge down and be able to give it to people in a digestible form so that we can get our points across to anyone, whether it's a skill that we're talking about or some kind of advanced scientific principle that we might be talking about with certain animals or species. So it is fun. It's a challenge for us, but we take pride in our ability to be able to do that well.
And obviously there's a lot of programs that kind of come out of the Brain Trust here in the city, and kind of walk me through how you guys come up with some of these programs that or either have been coming for years or coming for the future. How do you guys kind of come up with those ideas for the future?
Sure. So we have 3 programmers here in our nature section. So myself at Wildwood Park, we have 2 at River Park North. Generally, we kind of come up with those programs on our own, just things that we think might be interesting to people, either whether it's an activity or a specific program dealing with specific animals or something like that we want to highlight. Just things that we think are cool or interesting that we think other people would think is interesting.
So obviously a lot of these programmings that you guys come up with, you have that brain trust, like you just mentioned. How important is it to get the public's feedback and input into those things, to some things that they would want or things that they would like to see in the future? How important is the public's input in that?
Sure, we take public input seriously. A lot of people will give us their feedback on programs and tell us things that we should do in the future or consider in the future, or things or versions of a program they might like to see, or something they'd like to have added or taken away. So we just kind of listen to what people are saying. We do use social media when we advertise our programs to kind of take people's comments and see what they say on there as well.
I love when you lead me into kind of the how important is social media into all of this, because it feels like it's just exploded in the past, what feels like decade, really. How do you guys utilize that social media presence to let people know about programmings or different things that are coming around?
Sure. So we advertise at Wildwood Park. We advertise all our programs on Facebook. They're in the events section if you're going to go in there and look at it. That's pretty consistent across the department. We are one of the few parks that has our own page, though, so we encourage everybody to follow the Greenville Recreation Parks department page as well as Wildwood Park on Facebook.
Perfect. Well, Ben, thank you so much for all of your input. When we come back, we'll dive a little bit more into everything that you can do here at Wildwood Park. So as you can see, Wildwood Park has everything you could possibly need, from hiking to fishing to biking to extreme sports to a little bit of dancing and education opportunities as well. So come out to beautiful Wildwood Park and get some wild in your life.